He said go, so we go.
Yeah, Matt said go.
All right, here we go.
So let's go. Welcome, everybody, to Dylan Talks Tone and our live stream on Thursday nights. We weren't here last week, and I hate that. It throws my whole thing off. I'm so glad that you all are here. We're going to do some live streamy stuff. We are going to, first of all, I should tell everybody that this is a release episode. We've never done this before. This is a new thing. I want to try it. We have a new product coming out tonight, and I'm really stoked about it. And so we've prepared some stuff to tell you about that. But first, I want to say that this is ad-free. So we did not turn ads on. We will turn them on for the replay. But for the live stream, you don't have to deal with ads. So you're welcome to use Super Chats to support us if you like, or buy some pickups, or buy some other cool stuff that I'm about to show you here in a minute. It's going to be a busy night. We got a lot of Patreon questions that came in. So if you do have a question, I will tell you that it would probably help if you did use a Super Chat, because we're going to be busy tonight. We have come up with a new Strat pickup that I am very stoked about. It is called the Highway 99, and it is it's a take on the Seattle, my version of the Seattle sound. And so I guess what we should do is let's just roll the video that explains and shows you. We have people saying we can't be
just
heard.
One person. I just want to. No, he said looked like a connection problem, but
okay.
It looks good to me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's go ahead and just roll that video so that they can see and hear these pickups. Coming out with a new set of pickups. So let's just real quickly go through why I love this guitar. I like that kind of tubular, sort of real stratty sound in the neck middle position. The neck position's really nice too. But I think it could give it a little bit more balls to it, I think. The other thing I really like about this guitar is I like the fact that the bridge pickup is not super thin, and you can actually play it. You know what I mean? But I think we can do more. I think that I think I can put my little spin on this, and something that I really dig. So let me show you the new thing. So, little hotter, little bit bigger low end. Welcome to the Highway 99. That's what we're calling these. The Highway 99 pickups. This is named after a road that for those of you that are familiar with the Seattle area in the 40s and 50s, apparently it's a strip mall now. But I wanted to have a Seattle motorsports name, and the Aurora Speedway was on Highway 99. So that's what we're calling these babies right here. Now, this bridge pickup. Dude, I love it. So I love that bridge pickup. I love this one more. This is super fun. It's just got a bunch of... It's big sounding. That's hard to get out of a bridge pickup on a Strat. And I really, really love it. Now, these are A5. They are wound a little bit hotter. They do have a staggered pole piece set on them. They seem to work totally fine with this 9.5-inch radius, which is very common in Fender land. I really, really like it. I've been playing them. I think they're awesome. The neck pickup is somewhere around 6.5K, and these two are at 7.2-ish, something like that. So they're not low output pickups, but at the same time, they've got a real nice balance to them. And I just... That's with the volume at 3. They're still there, and just really cool dynamics to them. Just with the knob, you could just do all kinds of various things, and man, it's so cool. So this guitar is amazing. These pickups are amazing. I hope you go to Dylan Talks Tone as soon as you can. So there it is. That is the Highway 99 pickups. I'll tell you that video is a piece of a bigger video. So we were going to put out a video telling you the whole story of that Strat that I'm playing, because there's a whole story with that and the whole development of these pickups and etc. So there's a whole feature video, normal YouTube video. That's just a piece of it that will come out tomorrow. So you'll see the rest of it. But I just wanted to share those pickups with you. The other thing is we've been doing t-shirts that go along with the various pickup models. And so we have also released a t-shirt to go with that, to go along kind of with the theme and the time period and everything of those pickups. So that t-shirt is also available on the website. And I will also say that we have added these pickups to the loaded pick guard section of the website as well. So you can go there and get that stuff. And that's what I wanted to tell you about tonight, because I now have the 2 coolest Strats in the world and I absolutely love them. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments section, because I would love to know. That'd be awesome. What we probably should do... Oh, super chat.
You can't hear it. I don't know if they can hear it. Oh, we're back to
this. Here, there we go. Go ahead.
1 week and I get all messed up. So Van Shank Guitars is celebrating 43 months of membership.
Oh, wow,
That
man.
is
That's
awesome, Ivan. He says,
thank you.
Very cool new pickups.
Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. That's really cool.
Looks like Terry Himes said, Dylan, I got your P90 pickups in my new TTG Challenger. They sound great.
Excellent. Excellent.
I saw Driddle in here earlier saying he got his order. I don't remember what it said. You might remember what he got.
He got a pickup
I got
from us.
my
Yep.
Super 8 pickups on Tuesday.
Excellent. It's awesome.
What button? That button.
Yep, that button.
A super chat from Van Shank Guitars. Thank you for the super chat. He says, keeping it ad free.
Thank you. I thought there was a way we could do polls and stuff during this, but I don't remember how. Okay, well, I was going to do a
super chat from Sarge978. He said, sounds amazing. So
Excellent.
Stoked. Can't wait.
Good. I'm glad, because your pick guard is the one that is in the thumbnail, and we are going to send that out to you on Monday. Very cool.
All right. You want to get into?
Yeah, let's get into Patreon questions. If you have guitar questions, get over there in the chat and ask them with a bunch of question marks in front of it so that Leslie can see it. We do have a lot, so if you want to use a super chat, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, try your luck. The one thing I'll say about these pickups, I did want to mention this. These are not meant to be a copy of... We go into this more in depth in the video tomorrow, but these are not meant to be a copy of Mike McCready's pickups. As much as I love that guitar, I wanted to see if I could make it do more of a couple of things and put my spin on it, and that's what I did. So I just wanted to say that real quick. Okay. Next.
All right. We got Shane.
What's up,
Good
Shane?
morning, the lovely Dylan and Divine. Oh, I cannot read. I just called you lovely.
You're divine and I'm lovely. I'll take that.
But what if I'm lovely and you're divine?
I don't know.
Kind of like alliteration. So we'll go with
Okay.
LL and DD.
Okay.
Last week, ESP released the LTD version of the George Lynch Desert Eagle with the George himself talking about the guitar. Amongst his statement, George said they used Alnico 2 magnets because they are weaker, so the strings ring out more, leading to more headroom. I'm not sure if I totally follow his reasoning. Could you explain or comment on this? Thank you.
It's not, they're weaker, but it's not, they don't allow for what he's saying without saying it. It's that they pull less on the strings, which is kind of bogus. No, yeah, I mean, Alnico 2 is stronger than Alnico 3, is weaker than Alnico 4 and 5. So, you know, they compress differently. So you do get a little bit different frequency response. They do have a different type of clarity to them. We've done these videos where we swap the magnets out, but it's not fundamentally different. They just sound a little different. It's not really a big deal.
That thing never stops moving. It's really creepy.
Because when the AC runs, it blows right on the end of it right there.
That's really creepy. Like,
our ceiling fan just goes around
just
really
creeping.
slowly. Yeah. But the AC vent is right there and it blows on it.
Super chat from Sunbase. Thank you for the super chat. Ad free. The pickups sound great. Now you need a highway series. For the metal humbucker, you could use the name Highway 666 for that road in Arizona.
Yeah. All of our names are motorsports names. And so if we don't have a direct motorsports link to something, then I'll try to use abandoned racetracks and stuff with various stories. If you look up the Aurora Speedway, there's a lot of really neat stories and really neat people that came out of that. So anyway.
All right, we got Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Good evening, Leslie and Dylan. My question is, what is your thoughts on reverse headstocks? Thinking of a reverse teleneck to change the baritone to standard scale. It's a shame I have an amazing set of P90s that I don't play much because I have a hard time bonding with it. Thanks for sharing your evening with us.
Yeah, because it's just hard to play baritone that much, right? Oh, because he's got that wine red baritone that I had with my P90s in it. Mm-hmm. That's a cool guitar, but I get it. Personally, I'm not personally a fan of reverse headstocks. I don't like what they do to the feel of the low E. I think it makes it too flubby. So I'm not a fan of that because when you add string behind the nut, it changes the feel, and I'm just not a fan of it. So that's kind of that. But don't let that deter you from doing whatever you want to do. Try it. You know, they're kind of funky to set up. Once you get them set up right, they're okay. But I've just never really been a fan.
We got Joe. Hi, Dylan. Loving your P90s in my baritone build.
Oh, sweet. Speaking of that. Yeah.
I'm thinking about changing to a 4-way switch to get a series sound as well. Will I need to mod the neck pickup ground like a teleneck pickup needs?
Man, I hope you don't ruin it. Okay, so what you'll have to do is because yes, you will. What you'll have to do is unsolder because if it's my pickups, then the wire itself is grounded to the base plate. So you'll just have to heat that up and pull it off, but be very careful because the wire goes into a grommet that has been soldered and it's in plastic. So it's really fragile. And the reason we do it like that is to give it strain relief. Okay. So if you can just pop that off of there and then slide the insulation down so it doesn't touch the base plate and then solder an extra wire to just the base plate, then you'll be able to do that. If you cannot do that for some reason and you want me to do it, send it to me and I would be happy to do it. I'll just make you pay freight or buy another pickup and tell me about it in the comments. If anybody ever wants third wire for anything, Lawler charges $15 to do that. I don't charge anything. I'll just throw an extra wire on there for you. So if you order another P90, tell me you want it 3-wire. I'll just do it for you and send it to you.
Super chat from Sarge978. Thank you for the super chat, Sarge. He says, the Sarge will live forever in DTT lore through the Highway 99 picture. I've officially made it to DTT trivia question status.
Excellent. That's totally cool, man. Thank you, Sarge. And thanks for the super chat.
Let's see where I was. I think we're at Sarge again.
Oh, because he sent a question in.
Sarge, good evening, Dylan, Leslie, and or Brianna. I hope you all had a good Independence Day last week. Super psyched about the McCready's. Can't wait to hear them. I asked about staggered pole pieces in the last live, and after getting the explanation, now I'm curious what the purpose of them is in modern applications, as they're no longer, quote, needed to compensate for radius and string design.
They aren't needed. And there can be a challenge to make sure that the sound is balanced when using them in flatter radiuses. That's why I mentioned in the video with 9.5, it's pretty sweet. In 12, you might have to play with your pickup height a little bit to get it to balance right. Yep.
And we had Christopher. I would love to hear your thoughts on this idea of mine. What if I build a humbucker out of 2 coil tapped Strat pickups? So I can have a real Strat pickup with all the winds, and I could combine 2 of them into a humbucker using the coil taps. Mm-hmm. How do you think that would turn out? So 5,000 winds per coil as a humbucker, split the humbucker, and back to full Strat 8,000 wind count. Coil tapped humbuckers have always sounded disappointing to me as someone who mostly prefers single coil pickups. Thank you for your time. Love what you do.
You could try that. That would be a very interesting way to approach that. Complicated, but definitely, I think if you played with the splits, the splits and taps, it's a lot of wires and a lot of goofing around, but I think you could get to a place where it would be balanced. The only thing I would caution you on that is, you really have to play with wind count way more than you think when you do a coiled tap. People think, oh, I'm just going to cut 30% of the tap out and it's going to change it. It doesn't change it that much. It's very, very minimal. So you have to really kind of exaggerate stuff when you do that. So it could work. It could very well work. I think you just have to play with it a lot. Or you could buy one of our center punch humbuckers and put it in there and it'll actually work. So we have, I'm not saying your idea won't work. I'm just saying you'll have to mess with it a lot to get it to work. Our center punch pickup is wound 2 coil split with no volume drop, and it works really well. I know it's a thing I hate too, but it's something that I really worked hard on to get that pickup to do it right. So you might try that. It'd be a lot less fiddling around.
Pete, hey guys. Can you discuss the reasons why a tone pot would appear to only use approximately the last 30% of its rotation before you can hear any difference in sound?
Taper.
I have an older SG wired in 50s wiring with two P90s, not yours. Well, at least not yet. And no matter what I try, I cannot get the tone pot to work full range. I have tried several different caps and also tried audio and linear taper pots at 500K, but it seems to make no difference. Would a lower valued tone pot make any difference? Maybe a 330K or 250K?
So that's interesting that you've tried different pots and you've tried linear and audio. Because the two things I was going to say is, I did not read this ahead of time. So I was going to say is the taper of the pot, and whether it's a linear or it's audio, your cap choice doesn't actually matter that much in this if you're talking about the percentage of the pot that works. 50s wiring will do that to you, so you might try swapping your cap over to the other leg and seeing what you think about modern wiring with an audio taper, with a linear taper pot, and see if that'll even it out for you. Otherwise, it can be pickups. If you're not getting what you want out of the top end of the pickup, especially, that might not even be there. So what I'm saying is, you turn the tone all the way up to 10 and I want way more clarity and I want all this dynamic range, and I'm just not getting it. Like, I'm not turning my tone pot. It's not doing anything. The only thing it does is cut way down here. It's possibly because those frequencies don't exist in those pickups. So therefore they're not there to cut with the tone knob. I have had that happen where I'm sitting here playing a guitar with pickups I don't really like in it, and I'm reaching down and I'm like trying to turn the tone up more. Like, I wish I had more tone pot, and it's just not there. So there's a couple of alternatives for you.
Tom, hey Leslie and Dylan. What guitar do you find is the most pleasing to have out on a stand as a conversation piece when people visit?
It just showed up today. Can you take the thing down so we can show it?
Sure.
So there's two guitars that I think of for this. One is my McPherson Sable, because it's carbon fiber, and people are like, wait, that's carbon fiber? Like, it's weird. Like, people, even because I don't have a whole lot of friends that play guitar that come over, really. So most people see guitars and they're just like, oh, those are electric guitars. Oh, look at all those knives. That's usually what happens. So it's not, people don't really pay attention to my guitar stuff around here, which I don't really care. It's totally fine. But the one that gets the most attention until today, I think, is my carbon fiber Sable over there, because it's just weird looking. It's super cool. Until I got this. This is my Texas Toast Icon. And I think this thing is so unique and cool that I think this is a guitar that it's a head turner for sure. It's just so untraditional. But oh my gosh, if you don't have one of these on order yet, what are you even doing with your life? This thing is so cool, man. It is so cool. He bursted all the corners like an old acoustic guitar, and the bottom and the neck heel, and then he bursted everything. I mean, it's just so sick. Wait till the whole video comes out. Bigsby B7, I think this is. Yeah. Anyway, this is the guitar that I would pick for that. I told
We
Matt
have
that
a
I would
super
show it
chat
too.
from Christopher Hink.
Oh, thanks,
He
Christopher.
said, thank you for answering my question. That has been in my head for years. Best of luck with the new pickup rollout. I bet they sell awesome for you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the super chat, Christopher. I don't think I said that first. I think we're here. Jose. Hello, everyone. Hope you're
Hello.
having a wonderful evening. My question is, how do you balance playing all your guitars? Do you rotate every couple of days, or is it more of a seasonal thing? I often find myself not playing all of my guitars for a time, but a couple of weeks or months. It depends.
So that's a funny question. So I'm a pretty good rotator of stuff because because I collect stuff, not just guitars, right? So I carry a different pocket knife, every few days, and I'll, take different guns to the range every week, and I take, and I use different fountain pens every week, and I use different guitars every week. So I have two zither guitar stands in here, and basically whatever the new hotness is usually on one of them. So now because I actually got two new guitars this week because I got the Strat, the gold Strat that you'll see the video about tomorrow, which is very special to me. So that guitar is on one stand, and my carbon fiber McPherson is on the other. But now I will probably swap it around because I had another one come in. So this is the room where I kind of sit and chill, and there's a couch over here and stuff. And you've seen it in videos, but it's actually kind of my relaxing room too. So whatever guitar is in here is kind of the number one for me for whenever. And across the hall over there, across the foyer, is my office you've seen on videos with the winding machines and all that stuff in it. And that's where all the rest of the guitars are. So a lot of times I'll just, every few days, a week or something, I'll just take one of these over there and bring another one back over, and just play it for a while. So I play kind of more often what's in here. And then the other thing too is because it's my job, I do rotate around a lot because I'm thinking about work, whether it's I'm going to use, you saw the Les Paul a bunch lately. I'm going to use the Les Paul in a video. So the Les Paul's over here for a few days while I'm preparing for the video and I'm, doing the stuff. You got to sneeze?
Thought so. Maybe not.
Boo. Just kidding. So, work has a lot to do with it too. So for work stuff, I've been playing Strats a bunch lately because I've been working on this thing. Which means I've been playing my McCready. I've been playing my Silver Sky, even though it's not really a Strat, but it's just, I wanted it for the input, and I've been playing this new Strat. I always have P90 guitars around. So, it's a lot of it has to do with that, like selecting what I'm going to do for videos coming up and stuff. So I rotate through them quite a bit. So I have a little bit different perspective or, situation than a lot of people. But what I would say is, as public area of your house, the area that you can walk by, if you have a guitar stand, a reliable guitar stand, these other ones are great, and you have a guitar that you want to play more, put it somewhere convenient. And so that, if we're getting ready to go somewhere, and if I'm ready a few minutes early, I'm always ready a few minutes early. I'll just come over here and grab it for 30 seconds or a minute. It's like centering. But that guitar is just there and it's easy and it's available. And then once you get done with that one, swap another one out and start rotating them through and just play them for a few minutes here and there. Don't worry about the 2-hour session. Just keep playing them all. Guitar strings last longer and stuff when you play them all the time too.
Super chat from Brett Akeson. Thank you for the
Thank you,
super
Brett.
chat, Brett.
I don't know that I've seen your name before, so if I have, I'm sorry. If I've missed it, I'm sorry, but if not, welcome.
He said, I looked at a D'Angelico semi-hollow. Great price, but the P90s were extremely hot and I walked away. Do you make something that would fit? Where do I shop your pickups?
DylanTalksTone.com. Can you put you go down there to the bottom, it says, I think it says Cash App. Yeah. There's
DylanTalksTone.com.
there's our Patreon and our website.
It usually lives there. Slacker.
Yeah, you can leave it up. Yeah, so yeah, we should have something that drops into a D'Angelico with no problem. Just go.
And would they be too hot?
No, no. Just go have a poke around, and you can also go to the website, and there's a little chat down at the bottom. And if you're not sure, you can ask me a question or two, and we can dial you into the right thing and make sure you get the right thing. No problem. Those little chats come to my phone. I don't always get them right away, but I'll do my best to give you the information you need so you get the right stuff.
That was the end of the list.
Cool. What time is it? Oh, we did good. I was hoping we were going to get done with that part by about 8:30 because I wanted to be able to have questions that came in. And I wasn't sure how long the, pickup thing was going to take. I was going to show the whole video, and I was like, oh, no, let's just do like an excerpt from it just to give people an idea. Tomorrow, you're going to love that video. That guitar, that gold Strat is really special to me. And so if you're on Patreon, you probably already know about it because I posted some little videos and stuff about it. But I think you're going to really dig that video. It tells the whole story and a little bit more about the pickups and stuff.
All right.
Cool.
Let's see. T-Bone says, hey, Dylan and Leslie. Dylan, what's your opinion on the Fender Players 2? I'm somewhat underwhelmed. I like maybe 2 of the new colors. Which one would you choose? Player 2 or SE Silver Sky?
I would have to play one of the Player 2s to decide whether I wanted an SE Silver Sky because my very first choice would be SE Silver Sky. But I haven't played one of the new ones, so I don't know.
Jose Daniel Zamora P says, can you do an all black, no 3-ply Strat loaded pick guard?
Yes.
Logical Q says, what rig were you playing through for the Highway 99's demo?
That was a Kemper with a Marshall because, McCready.
Edison Killing Elephant. Hey, Dylan, I wanted to thank you for doing all the cable length effects tone videos.
Oh, thanks. Those are fun to do.
You're welcome.
Thanks
for thanking.
You're welcome. Yeah, thanks for saying something. Those were fun videos to do. That was old. That's old stuff, but that was fun to do.
Super chat from Joey Dano Guitars.
What's up, Joey Dano?
Thank you, Doug. He says, good evening, ad-free live.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Doug.
All right. I don't know if this is a good question or not because I don't understand it. Funnel Beaker says, what about direct to jack wired pickups for recording, then modeling tone in software?
You could do that, I guess. So the thing about tone knobs and volume knobs is they add a level of their own tone. They add tone, not add. They take away because it's a parasitic circuit. But there is a dimension that you do not have. There is tone shaping that you do not have with direct to jack. And you could do it afterwards, but it wouldn't be the same. It just wouldn't be the same. I should do a video about that, actually.
Curtis Chavez says, Dylan, after watching your McCarty video, is that McCready?
No, McCarty. I had a McCarty 594. Mm-hmm.
All right, sorry. Dylan, after watching your McCarty video, I was wondering, have you ever made a DAF with slugs instead of screws? If so, what did you think?
That's coming. That's coming.
Shark Air says if you add more wire to the top of the pickup and add more wire to the bottom of the pickup, will that make the mids more pronounced?
No.
AJ Dungan says looking for something similar to pearly gates for telly. Do you make something like this?
Pearly gates for telly. So are you putting a humbucker in your telly? Yeah, I mean, I would say put our Super 8 in there, and that hit you right down the middle for a pearly gates tone. But that's a humbucker though. So we need to know what you were doing. You know, I'm not gonna. We don't make like humbucker single coils and crap like that. I don't like that stuff. So I don't really believe in it. But yeah, that we could if you put a Super 8 in a telly, that'd be sick.
Shane Walton says, I kind of like locking nuts, but they are always on Floyd style trims. Is it possible to put a locking nut with a fender style trim?
I have one. I have a made in Japan 1985 Stratocaster Contemporary E series that has a locking nut. It's not on there now, but I do have one. Yes, you can. The problem is it creates a weird angle because of where the low E string comes over the nut. It really puts a kink in it. I took mine off because I kept it because I want to keep the original parts for my guitar, but I don't have it on there because it has to go over and it goes so steep. When you look at a Floyd guitar, typically the peg heads are longer and there's more space between the nut and the first tuning key. And so you don't have this weird thing where you have to fit a nut in between there and it gives you this weird little angle. In fact, the locking nut for that setup, it's a Kaler Series 1. I don't think the locking nut even sat flat on the guitar. I think there was like a gap underneath it because it had to be kind of like up against the curve to fit in there. If I recall that. It's been a long time since I took it off, but yeah, I just don't think they work as good.
Martian Murray says, so a Jag or JM without the rhythm circuit may sound better.
I like it without it, but all your Jag and jazz purists hate me for saying that, but I like it. I think it's cool. I actually want to do a loaded pick guard. I'd like to offer a loaded pick guard with no bass circuit for Jazzmasters and Jaguars. I think that would be really cool. It's something that I've kind of tossed around doing and I haven't done. But I think that would be a neat thing.
Kyle Ketchamonia says, hey, Dylan, I'm getting my D18 tomorrow.
Ooh, sweet. That's life-changing right there, man. Getting like a proper Martin is a life event. That's really cool.
I'm all caught up. What y'all got?
I don't know.
What you got?
What is this?
Mm-hmm.
Jefferson's Ocean. Still working on that bottle. I don't have much left. Yep.
Benny's World says most of my JMs don't have the circuit.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be cool? I guess I should do that. I should get some of those pick guards and build some of them up. And I don't have a Jazzmaster to put them in right now, but people would still dig it, I think, even if we offered it. Except for like the super purist people are always like, how come it's not really a Jazzmaster if you take the bass circuit out? I'm like, yeah, who uses that? It just makes it sound dumb, I guess. I don't know. But to his point, the more pots you put in a circuit, you're putting resistors in the circuit. So on a passive guitar, every component that you add is a parasitic loss to the potential for that guitar. So
Rob Murrow wants to know what's going on with the wall in the background. It looks cool.
Thanks. It's just some tiles that I put on the wall to make it look cool. Yep.
Jose Daniel Zamora P said, my girlfriend said the last time that the super chat horn sounded like a pit bull song or something like that.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Martian Murray says, I'm kind of digging the new simplified offset in the Player 2 series.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Which speaks to that whole thing, right? Having the offset without all the garbage on it.
Kyle Ketchamonia said, have you heard of the off-kiltertrons from Alameda Guitars, the 6 picks in 1?
No, I have not. I got an email, speaking of kind of not goofy, but interesting stuff. I got an email from a guy last night. He's sending me some jigs to press together pickups with. Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And he apparently he makes them and they're super cool. And he's got a bunch of other products too. He's just some guy, I don't know. He's like, hey, maybe he saw me in a pickup building forum on Facebook or something, which I don't really do anymore, but maybe I had some old posts there or something. But anyways, he reached out to me last night. So I'm interested to see because I've wanted to design something like that for quite a while.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, you know what? If somebody else is making one, I'll just buy it because that's pretty neat. And he offered to send it to me. So.
Well, if it's good, I'm sure you'll talk about it.
Yeah, and if it's good, I'll let you know because apparently, for those of you that build your own pickups, because apparently he does sell them on his website and has the capacity to make enough, that if we told some people about it, that he could make them. So it's sort of a niche-y thing, but it's cool because pressing together bobbins sucks.
Yeah.
When we were doing all that...
Scary.
Yeah, when we were doing all that stuff for John Cruz, we were literally pressing together. I mean, I was going for an hour and a half a night, 75, 100 bobbins at a time, doing it manually. So it would have been nice to have something a little more automated.
So Funnel Beaker is the one that asked about direct jack for recording the modeling tone in software. And he just came back and said, I mean, to avoid parasitic loss. So
I agree. You would be avoiding it. I just think that you would give up what you would perceive that you would gain. You would give up, and I don't think the gain would be as much as you think. And I don't think that the guitar sounds how it sounds because of what it is. So let it just be that, I guess. Instead of, unless you were going for a specific sound that you could only get doing that, then I think you just let the guitar be what it is. That's my opinion.
Super chat from 3J Music. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you.
They said, hey, Dylan and Leslie. No question right now. Just showing support for you guys and no ads. Those Strat pickups sound great, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's see. Patrick Hardy, Dylan and Leslie, question. Dylan, on July 24th, I'm buying your loaded telecontrol plate and your flat 6 pickup. What is the price for a 4-way switch? Bad internet here.
You can order you can order a 4-way control plate setup on the website. I don't remember how much it costs. I think they're $80 or so. But you can order that. There's an actual product for the 4-way wiring. Yep.
Whammy Jam says, I'm saving up for a set of your P90 pickups. I live in Denmark. How much is shipping?
I think we do a flat rate shipping of $30 around the world. And I will tell you that I eat that every time. But it just doesn't make sense to charge what it literally costs $63 or something to ship to Europe. So I just eat it every time. So we just put I think it's $30. It's just a flat thing.
Oh, Patrick is in the Houston area with no power. He's one of the millions of people without power still. I was just reading about that today.
And he's watching YouTube.
He said he has some cell phone service.
Oh, nice.
But I hear it's really hot there right now and it's bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard
Could you imagine being here for a week with no air?
we'd leave
Where would you go? They might be flooded. I don't know.
north. Canada.
You're assuming a lot of things.
True.
Anyway, I hope it comes back on soon, Patrick.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it would be hot.
Jose Daniel Zamora P said, did you have any news regarding John Cruz, by the way? Heard he went out, but nothing more.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
You heard the same thing we did.
Mm-hmm.
Martian Murray says, could you make an anodized gold-loaded JM pickguard without the RC, etc.?
I don't know. If you send me a chat on the website, I will not remember to check this later. So if you send me a chat on the website that goes in the little chat thing and ask me that question, then I will check with the people that make my pick guards and see if it's something that we can do. The aluminum, I know I can get the aluminum stuff, but it is very limited in the options that I can get. There's only like 3 or 4 options. So, yeah, so that would be a thing. And they're not cheap. They're not cheap.
Actually, I think I might have read that wrong. He said he does have, anyway, he said he's one of the lucky ones. So maybe he does have
He has
power.
power and maybe he has not much.
Maybe the internet is being sucked up. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Mr. Coates said, I'm at the beginning. Pickups sound good. Talking aliens yet?
Nope, not yet.
He's probably not listening yet. Let's see. Hugo Welty says, I've never found Strats all that versatile personally. They kind of do all genres of music except the fun ones.
Single hum. That's what I like to do. I like to do single hum stuff. Let's see. I'm looking for... I'm trying to see if... Oh, here we go. Real metal.
Brad, I see your question and we'll probably wait till after 9 to talk knives.
We do not have aluminum pick guards available anymore. I thought I did. So no. The answer is no. I did not know that until right now. I was just checking. I was like, well, I could just check that right now because I have my phone right here. And the answer is no. We do not have them available, which sucks because they're very cool. They're hard to find. Definitely.
Simon H says, hi guys, not sure this question is for you guys, but I have a Fender made in Mexico 2007 custom shop Strat, and I'm looking at the Mike McCready made in Mexico Strat. Do you guys think it's worth the upgrade?
If you put these pickups that we just came out with tonight in your guitar, and you'd save yourself a whole lot of money. However, the Mike McCready Strat is the best Fender Stratocaster I have played in a very long time. And I have played the best ones ever. I've played a lot of Strats, a lot of good Strats, and a lot of very expensive Strats. And I love my Mike McCready Strat. Absolutely love it. It is phenomenally good. It's so good.
Hogman Hawk says, when all I had was a Strat, it did everything I wanted. After getting a humbucker guitar, can't go back to only having a traditional Strat. LOL.
Yeah. Strats and Tellys are like, they're amazing at doing lots of stuff, but they can't be the only guitar that you have if there's certain things that you want to do. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that only play Strats or only play Tellys, but...
That was you for a lot of years.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I only had a Strat. That's all I had was for forever and ever and ever.
And he didn't want to play any Tellys.
No, I hated Tellys. Now I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Now I love them. But I have more Strats than Tellies still.
Yeah.
You know,
Waiting for things to arrive.
because I have 3 Strats and I have a Silver Sky now. So, and I only have 1 Telly.
Mm.
Well, I have my Schecter PT Machine Gun Kelly.
Ticking.
My knife. Oh, the fan in the light.
Oh, is it going out?
No, it just does that. It's done it ever since it was new.
Mm.
Yep. What else you got?
Patrick Hardy said, please take note. Please add 2 screws and 2 springs for the leather humbucker neck pickup. Yes, I made a mistake cutting them down. Now I know. If I lost internet, catch the replay.
Oh yeah, I think he mentioned that the other day and during the
Do you
podcast.
have a note to do that?
No, but it will happen.
It will happen.
It will happen. Yeah.
Marcia Murray said, new gear day. Just got a Taylor acoustic delivered.
Dude, which one? Let us know which one. That's cool. He was giving me a hard time on Facebook the other day saying that I posted a picture of my Martin and he's like, finally a real guitar. Because apparently he plays mostly acoustic. Yeah. What's really funny is I play mostly acoustic too. If I have the choice, it's an acoustic guitar for sure. But, you know, work dictates that I play more than this thing though. This new guitar from Texas Toast is I love it. When I played the prototype, I remember I was out there when they were prototyping them and I played the prototype and I was like, I told him immediately, I was like, Matt, I have to have one of these.
A few weeks ago, I feel like there was mention like your guitar was going to be in some photo shoot. Did that happen?
Yeah.
You have to show me.
They look cool.
I don't know.
They're
what
good
that
pictures.
is.
Yeah.
Vinny's World said, same. I hated Fender styles for a long time. That changed drastically over the years. Dog Dr. Tim said, my Strat was the gateway drug. I refuse to go to rehab. Give me more.
Yeah. I mean, my first guitar when I was 13 was a Strat. And I still have that guitar. But it was, I remember being a kid and listening to Van Halen. I remember being very small and listening to Van Halen and going, his guitar is the same shape as mine, but I can't get it to do the sounds that he's doing. Why is that? And then I listened to Metallica and I'm like, you know, I didn't know when I was that little that like, you know, a Strat shaped guitar when, you know, he was, what's his face? Kirk was playing, ESPs and I'm like, why is my guitar not making the same sound as those guitars? Well, I was playing through a Studio Pro 40 solid state PV with a Strat. Of course, those sounds aren't going to come out of that, you know? And and then of course I figured it out, but.
Rob F says, in my humble opinion, there are 3 mandatory food groups of guitars. SSS Strat, HH, LPSG, and an offset with P90s.
Okay. Food groups. Well, isn't there 5 food groups?
Is any of that even relevant anymore? I don't even know.
Probably not.
Is the food pyramid a thing?
I hope not, because it's not good.
It was never good.
It was never good. Okay, so no, there's only 4 food groups, I guess. Okay, so I think you have to have a single pickup guitar. That's number 1. With a P90 probably. I think you have to have 2 humbuckers, I guess. And either a Strat or a Telly, like a single coil guitar, because I think I could get most everything I want out of a Strat or a Telly. I could do either one. But I also have to have something with a Bigsby on it. So I don't know. My wants for what I think are cooler. And I have to have an acoustic. Have to.
All right. Brad says, can you make a pick guard for a vintage 65 Melody Maker special, but with P90s? Not room for anything else.
I don't know. The Melody Maker part is the part I don't know. We could do the wiring and we could do the P90, obviously, but I don't know about the pick guard part of that. So what it is I have a company that cuts pick guards for me when I call them, but I'm not limited to, they have a lot of options, but I use whatever templates they have. And I can do custom stuff, but custom stuff is way more expensive and it takes a long time. So I've only done that a couple of times for people because it's not cheap. You can plan on spending $100 for a pick guard if you do that.
David Girala says, this just popped in my head, so I'm going to ask. I play my modeling FX processor through a 12-inch speaker, and it sounds great in the room. Should I add a 12-inch to the end of the chain for it to sound good DI?
Probably not, because if you play digital out DI, you're going to use some sort of impulse response, or you're going to use some sort of speaker simulator, really. So I don't think that would be the move. I'd have to know more about your setup though to really give you a good answer, but I don't think so.
There's a few things I'm going to hold till after 9 because we're running out of time now.
Okay.
13A, I don't know, 13A Fomet.
Okay.
A couple weeks ago, found a road-worn Strat with rosewood at a local shop for $700 and instantly bought it, even though I'm not a huge Strat fan.
Those are cool. Those are really cool.
Charles Wallace says, a Strat for decades, and because of Dylan, I now have an amazing telly, but my Dylan Custom is the best, hands down.
I like that guitar that you have too. I have one now too.
Curtis Chavez says, I'm using the cheapest Recording King Dreadnought almost exclusively to gig lately. No other cheap guitars can touch it, but you're all hurting me with these Martins and Taylors.
Dude, don't let it. Those Recording Kings are fun. And you know what I think is neat about cheap acoustic guitars is you can find sounds and then use it for, like, to me, I don't want to say there's no bad sounding acoustic guitars, but when you have a quote unquote cheap one, it doesn't sound like a Martin, but it does have like a flavor. And you're like, okay, now I automatically want to play it a certain way or play certain kinds of music on it, or, you know, that's what I really find is fun. That's why I love this guitar I just got from Texas Toast, because it's so different that you're just like, you just want to play it different. It's just not even the same, you know, it's kind of fun. Makes you adventure a little bit.
Let me scroll down here again because it doesn't
because it did the thing that it does.
No, it does it every time, so it's just a thing now apparently. Well,
I'm surprised nobody's bought any Strat pickups yet.
We only have
1 minute.
Less than a minute.
All right. Well, I will start explaining, and then if another question comes in, we'll answer it. But at 9 o'clock, we go.
1 minute. Road Song said, just bought one of your Quattro humbuckers. Plan on putting it in a triple humbucker setup. Which position of the 3 would be best, or does it matter?
Bridge. It's right there, and it's going to be in the mailbox tomorrow morning. I finished it today.
Got that last question in there. All right.
Yep.
What happens at 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock, off-topic hour. So you can ask guitar questions after 9 o'clock if they're in a super chat. If they are not in a super chat after 9 o'clock, we will skip them. The idea behind this is we want to just hang out with you guys, talk about off-topic stuff. I think Leslie does have some off-topic questions over there. We encourage you to ask anything you want. We will probably answer it. I don't know that we've turned down a question yet. So this is just a way for us to just hang out and build community and get to know everybody. And, we've gotten to know a lot of you in person, so that's cool. But since we can't get to know everybody in person, it's just great to hang out and talk about other stuff. So that's what we do. So, yeah.
Ready to just jump in? Or
Let's just jump right in. I don't have anything.
All right. Brad wants to know, do you sharpen your knives? If so, what angle and bevel angle? I prefer the Workshop Ken Onion edition to sharpen everything I have. Work Sharp Ken Onion edition.
So speaking of that, Montana Knife Company just came out with a new knife right now. I just got the text on my phone or on my watch. I know, I really want it though. So yes, I do sharpen my own knives. And there is not one angle. It depends on the knife, obviously. You have some knives that are, 15. My kitchen knives are all 15 or less because they're Japanese hand forged stuff. But you'll have utility blades and stuff. What do I have in my pocket right now? Let's see. Oh, okay. So this is, what is this thing? Spartan Bill Harsey folder. And I think this thing is somewhere around 20. And then I've got some other stuff that's 25. Microtechs are closer to 25 or 30 almost. They got really shallow. So I kind of do whatever is required. I used to have a book with all of the sharpening angles for each knife written in it. But now I have so many knives that I just sharpen them. I use the Worksharp Precision Adjust, whatever the one, it's like the angle with the little stick and it goes back and forth. I use that for setting edges, but then everything else, actually one of you, I don't remember who it was. I'm sorry if if you're bummed out by that, but one of you sent me a whetstone, a Worksharp whetstone, and I use that quite a bit. And then I also have an entire Japanese whetstone set up with the sink tray and all the stuff for doing all my kitchen stuff. So I have lots of sharpening stuff because every one of my knives is wicked sharp at all times. And Brianna's knives and Leslie's knife, we don't allow dull knives around here. No dull knives.
And if you show him a knife, that's what he's going to
Yep.
check.
If you show me a knife, you pull a knife out of your pocket while you're at my house and it's dull, it's going to be sharp before you leave because we just can't have that.
All right. Charles Wallace says, any new cool art lately? We moved some things around.
We did.
We finally painted the living room. So we put art up, which took some from my office. So then I had to put different art up. I still have a blank wall. We
have an antique mirror that there's one gnat flying around here. We have an antique mirror that was in my grandparents' house when I was a kid. That I inherited, I don't know, probably 15 years ago, and so we have that, and that went up in the living room. That's pretty neat. Oh, and then the other thing we inherited, it's right back here. You can see it. Is from your grandmother's house. I don't know if you call that a grandfather clock because it's not. I don't remember what they call those.
Never thought about it, actually.
But it's that clock right there.
It's a wall clock.
Yeah, it's a wall clock, but it's like, got all the weights and stuff in it.
And it's way bigger than you think it is.
Yeah, it's like 5 feet long and it weighs a lot. Anyways, so that's pretty cool. So those are the couple of the kind of the new art additions.
New old.
Yeah, new old.
New old stock. No, it's just old.
Yeah.
Logical Q says, speaking of motorsport, is anyone watching Goodwood FOS this weekend?
No, I have not seen anything about it. I would probably watch some of it. Typically what happens is I usually wait till afterwards and I just watch kind of the recap stuff on YouTube because it's not, obviously it's in the UK, so I don't get to see it as much. They don't cover that really. Dog
Dr. Tim says, I sharpen all my knives on crock sticks, throw the criticism. They're all scary sharp, and it's therapeutically easy.
I mean, it makes sense. Most of my stuff's so sharp now that I just use a strop every once in a while. I don't actually have to put a knife on a stone very often at all.
Doug said it's called a grandmother clock.
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He might be serious. He might be sarcastic. I don't know with Doug, especially not in text form.
True.
It's probably true.
It might be. Let's see what
Maybe
a grandmother clock
you-
is.
Maybe that's what you call when it doesn't touch the ground.
I don't know.
That clock's probably taller than my grandma.
Was. I'm going to look this up right now because
Brewhound77 said, yeah, I always called them grandmother clocks. I've never even heard that term.
I've never heard that term either.
Does anything come up?
No.
Maybe it's some kind of tradition that we don't even know about.
Yeah, maybe. It might be a, what do they call it? Like a colloquialism to a certain area or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I do know that our son and daughter-in-law got they got a cuckoo clock.
Yes. And a coffee table.
So apparently everybody.
From like what, the 40s?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Old.
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff because, the grandparents were pretty old. And
93.
93, right. And the grandmother was from Japan. And so there was a lot of Japanese culture and stuff around that house. And there was a lot of neat stuff.
And they were military, so they traveled a lot. There was a lot of things from Germany.
Mm-hmm. I got a bunch of old cameras, like medium format camera and, old neat stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. And of course, the other thing, and I know this is sort of guitar related, but it is off topic.
You have to wait though.
Okay, go ahead.
Because we got a super chat from Michael Hollis. Thank you for the super
Thanks,
chat,
Michael.
Michael. He said P90 set and CP set. Haven't got to play yet. What's CP mean?
Center punch, probably.
Oh, did he get a set? Did he get
maybe
pickups and he hasn't got to play them yet?
I hope he gets to play them soon because those are both awesome. And if you haven't ordered them yet, you should because they're awesome. Thank you for the super chat. See, that's how you do it if you have a guitar question after 9 o'clock.
Yep.
So we went to my family's house in my grandmother's house. She's, speaking of being 93.
Mm-hmm.
She is
Live.
She is alive. And we went to visit her. And we got to see a bunch of the other family and stuff and all that and whatever. And I was given a guitar. So that's pretty cool. So that's what tomorrow's video is about. So that's off topic, but it's about guitar. So I'm just going to leave it there.
Where else did you go when we drove all that way?
Oh, yeah. We went to Atlas Stationers in Chicago, which is a super cool fountain pen and art store, but lots of fountain pens. And we're now an affiliate with them.
Yes.
Which is very cool.
Where else did you go while we were up there?
Oh, what's that place called? Something Historic Auto Museum. Yeah, maybe that's just what it's called. So I was watching 1320 video, drag race and stuff on YouTube. And there was the Midwest Dragon Drive, or maybe it was called Six Summer. I think it was called Six Summer. And one of the stops was, like one of the checkpoint stops was in Roscoe, Illinois at this auto museum. And my aunt lives in Roscoe.
We've been there
We've been there
times.
a ton of times. Like I go there at least once a year. I didn't even know it was there. It was 85,000 square feet of historical stuff. And it was really cool.
Historic Auto Attraction.
That's what it's called. And they had a bunch of neat stuff like
weird. They had a bunch of weird stuff.
They did have a bunch of weird
stuff. It was very eclectic.
Yes.
Well done, though, collection.
You know that I am very interested in Cold War stuff, right? So they had Stalin's car. They had Gorbachev's car. They had a bunch of Nazi Walter PPKs and stuff, like knives, like clocks. They had a bunch of like furniture from old White Houses, like from old presidents. They had a bunch of old presidents' cars, Bigfoot, not Not this Bigfoot, but like the Bigfoot truck. Land speed record car, Don Prudhomme's dragster, a whole bunch of neat stuff, man. It was neat. You're like, oh, they had a whole bunch of serial killer stuff.
Yeah.
That was pretty neat. Like notes from Dahmer and stuff. Pretty cool. It had a bunch of neat stuff.
So we're still talking clocks over here.
Okay.
Rockbox says a grandmother clock, I think, is a smaller clock that usually goes on the fireplace mantle. And then BC Rich 581 says, I think that there are grandfather clocks and grandmother clocks and mantle clocks. And I think that the difference is in the case and the pendulum arrangement. I could be wrong on that. I feel like we need to learn more about clocks.
Apparently.
And Michael Hollis, to finish out his super chat, he said he received them. He's waiting on a custom guitar for the P90s and parts for the center punches.
Oh, that's right. I remember you talking to me about that.
We got a super chat from Tony Leonardi. Thank you for the super chat, Tony. And he just says, good evening, Leslie and Dylan.
Good evening, Tony.
Very nice. Let's see. All right, let me pop back over here. Marcia Murray said, how is dairy a food group, but a majority of the world is lactose intolerant?
That's a great question. We'll just leave that there.
Mm-hmm. Dog Dr. Tim said 4 food groups: protein, starch, veggies, fruit. In college, the 5th group was added: alcohol.
Yeah, I'm thinking like potatoes and alcohol. That's all you need, really. I mean, French fries, sweet tea, beer.
I need more than beer.
Tequila, whiskey.
That'll work.
Yeah, that's it. Bread.
Priorities. Tom F wants to know. Oh, I think I'm saying something wrong. Hang on. Somebody sent something.
Why didn't
Michael?
you put it up there?
I don't know. Sorry.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to read it. Super chat from Michael. Thank you, Michael. Because I think he's, did I not say it? Or am I supposed to say Hallis? Michael Hallis? Maybe I said Hollis.
He did.
Okay. So his name is Hallis, like Hallis in Chains.
Oh, well, thanks for clarifying.
Yes.
Leslie likes to get your name right, so
Thank you.
appreciate that.
But it took me a minute to like, what is he telling me?
Oh, because
I didn't want to say it wrong again. I was like, what is he saying?
Hallis and Chains.
And then I couldn't
That's awesome.
think of how I said it the first time.
Good job picking something that she would totally identify with too.
Unlike Sarge 978, I never get what he says.
That's funny.
Okay. Tom F says, if you had to choose one carry pistol into harm's way, what one and why? First of all, you shouldn't go into harm's way. Number 1 rule. You are really thinking.
Of what I have?
He didn't specify.
I mean,
if you had to choose, maybe if you do have to choose something you have, I don't know.
That's hard. Everything I have is super reliable. I mean, the very first right off the rip, my Shadow Systems MR920.
Didn't say that. And why would you pick that?
Because I shoot it really well.
Seems fair.
Yeah, I shoot it really well.
Jose Daniel Zamora P says, any tips for moving out of my parents? We are adapting a place in the house to make an apartment, and tomorrow I'll be doing some refrigerator and stove shopping. Sorry if I'm being weird. Gotta do it sometime.
Gotta do it sometime. That's cool, man. Glad you're able to make the move.
I don't know that I have any tips, though. I did that
He lives in a different country,
really long time ago.
He lives in a different country, so he's probably got he's probably got adventures and needs that we may not be
Mhm.
familiar with. So we might be bad people to give you advice on that. But that's very cool. I'm happy for you.
I'm going to put this on the screen because this is cool. Dog Dr. Tim is celebrating 32 months of membership.
Wow.
He says, I had no idea it has been this long. Loving every minute of it.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that.
Curtis Chavez says, here in New Mexico, there's only 2 food groups, red or green peppers.
Exactly. Right.
That's funny.
Red chilies or green chilies. It's the only choice you get.
Oh, so BC Rich 581 said there's a great book on navigation and exploration called Longitude that talks about the earliest reliable clocks, and it really is a great read.
That sounds like something I would watch. I mean, read. No, probably watch. If it was a documentary, I would definitely watch
Is there
it.
an audiobook version?
Yeah. Is there an audiobook version, a YouTube version, or a National Geographic movie about it, or something on Netflix? I would even venture to say that I would watch a miniseries.
Why not?
Multiple episodes.
Those are the best, because how else are you going to binge?
Right.
Have you seen that? It's like, would you eat, I mean, we don't eat cheese, so it's not really relevant, but it's like, would you eat 6 string cheese like at once? And people are like, no, that's a lot of cheese. And then they're like, do you want this basket of mozzarella sticks? And they're like, yes.
Except that I remember being a kid and eating string cheeses.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Lots of them.
My sister liked it. I was never really a fan.
They were fancy
Why was it fancy?
because we got government box block cheese, man.
Oh.
So if you could get
I think I've just never loved cheese, actually.
some string cheese, that was like super fun.
I would.
I remember only getting it like at friends' houses and parties and stuff. Like kid parties would always have string cheese
I will say,
and pixie sticks.
of all the things, like cheese, I really liked Colby Jack cheese, and we never got that.
Oh, yeah.
And they did come out for a while with like, Mom did. Mom is the generation of like all the Atkins things.
Yep.
So then she would get these like little snack size Colby Jack cheese, but then I'd get in trouble for eating her diet food.
Yep.
But
And they had the little blocks, like the little Colby Jack blocks.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they still do, probably. I don't know. All right, let's see.
I'm sure they do. I just haven't eaten cheese in a decade.
More than that.
Yeah, more than a decade.
Charles Wallace says, any new laser projects?
Yeah, working on a couple things. I got working on some pickup stuff. Made some pickup covers today. Working on some guitar related stuff. I've also, I don't know. I've got a few things I'm kind of kicking around.
Nothing concrete.
No, nothing concrete.
All right. Michael Davis wants to know current favorite pen. Mine is Mont Blanc Egyptomania.
Oh,
inked
wow.
with Diamond Dark Forest, which is a green.
Oh no, he's a baller. I don't necessarily have that kind of cash. Although currently I do have 2 Mont Blancs inked up. I have a Mont Blanc 220 from 1966 inked up because I'm doing a video about it on the other channel. And then I do have a Mont Blanc Starwalker inked up. Probably my fun pen right now that I've been writing with, I just got this. We just did a video about it on the other channel. Lamy 2000. I've never had one of these.
It looks so boring.
It does. And that's what everybody says. It's like, looks stupid. But there's just something about it, man. And I don't know what it is, but it writes so well. When people say, yes, it's just a black pen, but when you write with it, they're not kidding. Like, it really is good.
Do you know what my favorite pen is right now?
What?
You're going to be surprised.
What?
It's the Edison, because I love that ink.
Is it the ink you just told me to put in a pen today?
Yeah, the Bah Humbug.
Yeah. Okay, so I just put
love
that Bah
that
Humbug in something.
So it makes me want to use that pen. And I'm like, oh, I actually really like this pen.
Yeah, because you went through a phase of not liking that pen.
Yeah.
I like my Edison.
I still have the same least favorite pen. And that's disappointing.
What is your least favorite pen?
My Banu.
Why? Is it
I don't
still
like the
giving
way
you
it
trouble?
writes. I don't like the way it writes. I love
Interesting.
that pen. If we could get a different nib for it, that would be my all-time
Well, I've got
favorite
other
pen.
Banu nibs. We could
We should try
we
it
can swap them around.
because I want to love that one, and I don't.
Well, maybe I'll just see if this Banu, because this is a Astro Gem too, and I actually have another nib too. What? It's a broad, right?
I don't know.
I don't remember. We'll mess it around. I've got a Banu with no ink in it right now. Maybe we should just put the nib in and see if you can dig it. I'm not a fan of Schmidt nibs, but that's what they use. But once you get them right and good, they're good.
Jose Daniel. I can't even read. Jose Daniel Zamora P says, thanks for the encouragement. I'm kind of scared and I'm not even leaving completely. Just starting to get groceries apart and building a wall to be more independent.
I get that.
I mean, I think it's awesome. Tom F says, watch any new or interesting shows. I'm on a foreign kick again, so I got nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched the whole the Scientology documentary. It's an older one, but I'd never seen it before. The one and it's like Tom Cruise is insane, basically. And so I watched that, and those people are insane, like going after people. And
oh, I did watch The Man with 1,000 Kids.
Oh yeah,
that was.
Oh yeah, because we all the way back. I swear, all the way back from Illinois, we listened to the DNA Surprise podcast, which was really interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting.
That's a whole nother rabbit hole. I don't know that we've talked about before.
No, about the whole DNA.
Yeah, I am addicted to Ancestry.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fun.
Yep.
Especially death certificates.
Yep.
I love to tell people that because they're like, what?
They're like, what? That's weird. Yeah, so I watched that. I did watch some other documentary the other night. I don't remember. I've not been actually watching a bunch of documentary stuff. YouTube's kind of dry right now. I think content's kind of bleh right now because there's nothing new going on. There's no, we're in a slow season for pens, for guitars, I don't like watching guitar YouTube anyway, but even car YouTube is kind of slow right now. Weird.
Dog Dr. Tim says, Lammy makes a great pen, but they're German. What would you expect? Leslie, I have a narwhal that pushes me a bit. I have a narwhal, and I like it.
Yeah.
Dog Dr. Tim said, please remember that Scientology is not Christianity.
Scientology is whack.
Curtis Chavez says, I used to love all of the Ken Burns documentary series, but his last one just sucked all of the air out of the room. What was the last one?
Yeah, what was it?
Did you know?
Because I watched it. And you're right. I remember, I don't even remember what it was about, but I remember
you were a
Ken
Burns fan too.
Big Ken Burns fan. Yeah. Because I'll tell you why. Because when I was a kid, I went through a whole, actually, to tell you the truth, Ken Burns is what started all of this. Because my fascination with weapons and war history and Cold War history and all that, because when I was a kid, I was forced to watch the Civil War documentary on PBS that was like 6 hours long. War. Well, that's because I learned it from white people. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yes. So learning the Civil War from people that aren't from the South is different than learning the Civil War when you live in the South. Definitely different.
Yeah, I think it is fascinating.
Without getting down any uncomfortable rabbit holes, it's very interesting that once you learn this history living here and kind of going to the places and actually seeing the places and experiencing the stuff, it's different than watching the Ken Burns documentary on. Anyway, long story short, I love Ken Burns. and I really did enjoy the Civil War documentary once I got into it. I probably watched it 3 or 4 times growing up. And that's what started my whole war history.
So why were you
fascination.
forced to watch it? What was the...
Because it was an educational thing that I was supposed to, because I was homeschooled. So there were certain things that I was like, here, you should watch this. And this is part of it.
Hmm.
You know, and back in the 80s, we didn't know, there was no, you know, like even understanding like where to learn Native American history from now is, we know now that there's 3 sides to every story, but you didn't think about that back then. It was just like, here's the book, read the book, learn the stuff. Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, now I think a lot of people are more aware of like, wait a minute, who wrote this? Like, where did this information come from? Or, and even if it's not totally bad, like, even if it's not totally inaccurate, what I do find helpful is to be able to find 2 sides to a thing. And even like living on the res for a couple of years and talking to people who actually experienced things like being kidnapped by Mormons and, you know.
And even I feel like there are different stories from seemingly the same perspective, but people are different. And it's actually a different experience for them, even when by every textbook definition and on paper, it would probably look the exact same.
Yeah. And I think that's why I continue to keep learning because, well, and even as a person who is learning, and this applies to all of us, right? That as you grow, what you see in something and what you want to learn about something is different. When you first went to school in whatever grade, 8th grade, and learned about how the government works, is different than what you know now when you're an adult, you know, like whatever the subject is, even science, like anything, like once you start to learn how it applies and how it really affects you, then it's different. So your own perspective changes. I just love continuing to learn that stuff. That's why I like learning all the time. Documentaries rule, man.
Michael Davis said, Leslie, I've traced my wife's family to 16th century with sources.
That's cool.
That is cool.
It's pretty cool. Mine's tough because mine will go back to before written language because I'm...
And I think a lot of oral history, even. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm indigenous to Canada. So my history isn't really written. I can only go back about really, I mean, even beyond my grandmother is hard. Like, you know,
I have more than that.
You have more than that now. But what I'm saying is it's actual documentation's tough. Like a lot of it's just because this person knows this person knows this person. If you go back 4 or 5 generations, then it's just like gone. Like, because they didn't even write before that. So, yeah.
Vinny's World said, yeah, back then the education system didn't really focus on how to understand bias. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah.
Like that was something I even had to learn.
Yeah. It's interesting stuff.
BC Rich 581 said Burns has done more than I thought he did.
Oh yeah. Lots.
Jim Woodard said, I think you might find living on the reservations in the Northeast is much different from the South or Southwest. Ours was very agricultural and living off fish, deer, and small game.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it is different.
It had to be regional because
it was
how
different.
people lived. Yeah.
I lived Southwest and I lived Northeast. So, yeah. I have had a fair amount of experience with reservation life. A fair amount. In different tribes, actually. 3 or 4. Yep.
Fascinating.
It is.
That's it. I'm caught up.
Okay. Well, being caught up is cool.
I mean, it's a solid 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe they're tired too. I'm tired.
Me too. I've got a bunch of pickups to pack up in the morning, and
That's fun.
yeah, got to upload a video.
I'm like so busy right now that I can't even. I'm like, wait, tomorrow's Friday. Like, I had more I needed. I'm not even like looking forward to
Isn't that
Friday
weird?
because I'm like, how did I run out of time this week?
I'm the same way. I was literally like, I was looking at the work that I have, and I was looking at all the things that I want to do, and honestly, content that we've got to make. You know, I've got this guitar. I've got so much content. Like, we're making a video every day because I don't have enough time to do it all. And I'm like, otherwise you're pushing stuff out way beyond when it's relevant, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I could honestly, I just look at next week going, I'm just glad we're not going anywhere. Like, because we've been kind of splitting up our weeks a bunch lately, you know, with that trip that we had to take. And then the week before there was something too where I lost a day, and there was, oh crap. You know what? Next week, what's today?
The 11th.
I think I have a dentist appointment. I think I have a dentist appointment on Tuesday, and it's getting an implant, and that is going to suck.
Probably. On Tuesday? Why would you do Tuesday?
I think it's on Tuesday.
Fun.
So, yeah.
Something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but we actually don't have plans Tuesday.
Right.
Oh, I
So
guess
it might be a
that's
good
okay.
day.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Marcia Murray said, could I live on a reservation not native?
It depends on the reservation. And the answer is yes, but it's difficult to find a place to live if you are not there for a specific reason, like nursing, teaching, you know, some sort of government thing, something like that.
Yeah. Very community based, right? Like,
Yeah.
what are you contributing to the community?
Correct. And you're not going to base you know, if you have a friend and they have a place they can rent you, that's cool. But you're not going to just, you know, you're not going to buy a piece of property, obviously. And you're not going to, you know, any of that kind of stuff. So when I was on the reservation, my dad worked for the university, Northern Arizona University. And so, and I worked for Northern Arizona University as well. And my sister taught, and my mom didn't work. So yeah.
Awesome.
Right on, man. This has been fun. Stay tuned tomorrow for the full video about the Strat stuff. And then we'll have another one for you on Monday.
Sounds good.
We'll see you later.